Hello and welcome to the 49ers First and 10 podcast presented by Cisco. 10 minutes of the most up-to-date 49ers news first thing in the morning. I'm your host, Brianna McDonald, and joining me today is 49ers team reporter, Lindsay Polares. Both us and the team are back in action after a weekend away from football, preparing for a Week 16 contest in Miami to face the Dolphins. But before we jump into Sunday's game, let's take a look back at Thursday Night Football. Lindsay, probably the biggest highlight from that game was linebacker Dre Greenlaw's return to football. Tell us about his journey back to the field in Week 15.
Yeah, it has been, I can't believe it, but 10 months since the faithful, the team, the organization has seen Dre Greenlaw suit up for a game. He had that season ending Achilles injury in Super Bowl 58, and he has been working tirelessly to get back to his teammates, get back to the field. And that recovery went full circle in week 15. He was able to suit up and start against the Rams. Obviously, not the result that the team wanted in week 15, but his return really was the silver lining of that game. I think one of my favorite parts of the whole day was hearing his teammates talk about his return post game because you had guys like Nick Bosa say that Dre Greenlaw is his favorite teammate that he's ever played with. And he meant college to pros. Nick Bosa has had a really long career. I think that's really, really high praise. You hear Fred Warner, who is his best friend on this team, and they're kind of that linebacker duo that everyone gets excited to see. He called him a freak of nature. And then you have George Kittle just talk about how amazing of a player he is. Called him a unicorn of a football player, to be exact. So, again, a really, really big day for the organization to get Dre Greenlaw back. And he had 8 tackles in that game against the Rams. Really played most of his snaps in that first half. He did say he was experiencing some fatigue and some soreness in his knee, obviously coming back after a long hiatus. So, one thing that was good to hear is that head coach Kyle Shanahan said that his knee checked out just fine. It really was just soreness from a long return. So, I think that's definitely the silver lining of Thursday of week 15. And the 49ers are so happy to see him back. We'll see what his week looks like when we get more info from Shanahan later today. The 49ers have had that bonus practice on Monday, but the practice week really does start later today.
Not only did I love seeing Dre Greenlaw back on the field, I just loved hearing some of the things that his teammates had to say about his 2024 debut. You could see there's a ton of love for Dre. And, while we're talking superstars, I wanted to highlight this year's Pro Bowl voting. The 2025 Pro Bowl games will be in Orlando starting on February 2nd. It's a multi-day AFC versus NFC event with skills competitions and a flag football game. A total of 88 players will be selected for the Pro Bowl teams. That's 44 for AFC and 44 for NFC. And voting is open right now all the way through December 23rd. So as we take a look at the rankings so far, three 49ers are leading Pro Bowl votes at their position in the NFC. Lindsay, would you like to share which Niners are at the top?
Yeah, right now we are looking at George Kittle, the People's tight end, fullback Kyle Juszczyk, and defensive lineman Nick Bosa, all leading at their positions. But guys, we can show a lot more love for your favorite 49ers because there are so many playmakers on this team. I know it hasn't been exactly the season that everyone wanted, but there have been standout performances throughout the year from this team.
And faithful, you've got to keep the voting going through December 23rd. The fan vote influences the Pro Bowl team heavily, so your vote absolutely matters. Lindsay, while there's still time to rack up some votes, who are some other players you think deserve some love for their performances this season?
I'm going to throw out a couple. Fred Warner is the one that I want to highlight first. Quarterback of the defense. He is an absolute playmaker. I think it's amazing what he has done for the team this season, playing on an injured ankle for a large part of this season. That is someone that is a gritty player and has found a way to push through injury to be there for his team. He's currently leading the team in total tackles, 106 on the year, and we've still got 3 games to go. So this is very much your opportunity to show some love for Fred Warner. He was a unanimous All Pro in 2023, and again, having a really great season this year as well. Another person, Diamador Lenore, cornerback that just got signed to a pretty significant contract extension, and he's absolutely earned that. He is number 3 on the team in total tackles, 2 interceptions this year. I want to call back to one of his plays of the season, a scoop and score. That was absolutely so much fun to watch on special teams. So a huge shout out to Demo as well. And Faithful, you know what to do. And then also one cool thing to note is that if you want to vote on social, on X, your votes count double from the 22nd to the 23rd. And all the info on how to cast your social vote is on 49ers.com. We published an article on it, so please use that as your guide to support your 49ers during this Pro Bowl voting.
Awesome, Faithful. Keep those votes going. And yesterday, the players had their 1 day off from practice, but a lot of the team used that time to give back to the community with the team's annual Hope for the Holidays event presented by US Bank to spread holiday cheer and support underserved families this holiday season. It was such a fun time. Both Lindsay and I were there to watch it all happen. It's a drive-through distribution in the Levi's Stadium parking lot for 125 families in need who will receive numerous resources, including food, glasses, toys, and shoes. Lindsay, what were some of the special things you saw yesterday, and what did you hear from some of the players?
I just love how this team interacts with the fan base. Obviously, this was, like you mentioned, to serve people in our community that need it the most, especially during the holidays. But these players care so much about these families who are fans, huge fans. You saw people driving up in jerseys. I saw Kittle fist bumping a little girl that was coming out of the sunroof of the car. It was really, really cool. They're directing traffic. They are loading some of the goodies that were being donated yesterday. I saw lightsaber battles happening with the with the traffic conductor things, which were really fun. So many autograph signings. It was such a good time, and I think it's important to note that this is not a team that just shows up during the holidays. This is part of a larger Community Tuesdays thing that goes on throughout the regular season. The 49ers really do love to pour into the Bay Area community, but this is definitely one of my favorite events of every year, and I look forward to it. And I've gotten to witness it for 3 seasons now and help capture content for it. What was your favorite part of it, Brie?
My favorite part of the night was seeing the players direct traffic. It's pretty funny how, with the Christmas music, they were directing traffic on beat with a little rhythm, showing off their dance moves. I love the little dance battles that were happening between station to station. It was so funny. And then just seeing the fans drive through with such big smiles on their face, excited to see the players sharing their love. It was just an atmosphere full of love and support for the team and just holiday cheer. It was such a unique way to celebrate the holiday season with giving back and spreading love. It was really awesome, and I look forward to it every year. But as we get back into the rhythm of practice, Lindsay, what are some things you're looking to see in today's practice?
Yeah, so today, like I mentioned earlier, is the start of the practice week. The 49ers have had quite a few injuries this season. I think, just taking a look at who is going to be available for week 16, or at least trending to be available in week 16, it sounds like no major injuries coming out of week 15. Also, having 10 days rest between these 2 games is going to be really, really important for guys that are fighting to get back. There was a bonus practice on Monday, but really looking to see statuses for Wednesday today. What will happen later today, we'll hear from head coach Kyle Shanahan and just kind of get a barometer of where the team is headed into another longer road trip headed to Miami this weekend.
Yeah, we're looking forward to Niners Dolphins this Sunday, but that will do it for today's podcast. Subscribe to First and 10 presented by Cisco for all your 49ers updates and turn on the notifications for any breaking news. Lindsay, thanks for sharing with us, and Faithful, thanks for tuning in.